Holo Gelato Familia. It is George, the Disney Italiano, coming to you with another live. I got two of the great people here. Avengers Assemble. And you can kind of guess what we're going to talk about today, just based off of my background. Yep, that's right. We're going to talk about Gabby's Dollhouse. No, I'm just joking, folks. We're going to talk about Marvel and everything that's been going on, like during the San Diego Comic Con, because they drop some banger news, and I don't think we're done hearing about Marvel just yet. But we're going to get into all that. Let me introduce to you guys my compadres here that's joining me on this live. I'm going to start right over here. Mr. Tommy Toon in the house. Welcome in. How you doing today, bro?
What's up, man? What's up, George? What's up, conductor? I'm happy to be back. I'm excited to talk about San Diego Comic Con. This is crazy news. It was a crazy drop last night. I know we're all waiting to see what was going to happen. People were waiting in line for a long time, but yeah, I'm ready to discuss it. Man, you can find me on YouTube at Tommy Toon World. You get some food reviews in there. I got a lot of Vegas stuff coming out, and then you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Tommy Toon _.
Awesome. And then, of course, it's never alive without this guy, the life of the party. He puts the ecstatic in electricity. Mr. Theme Park Conductor, how you doing today?
What's happening, fellas? I can't wait to talk about this. It's so funny because I was kind of like half asleep when all this news started dropping, and my phone was going off the page. It was ridiculous. So I woke up and I started looking through posts, and I was astonished. So this is going to be a great live stream. But you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like the one, the only, Mr. Holo Gelato with his spicy theme park Italian opinions. We got Tommy Toon World, the young Steven Spielberg of food reviews in the theme parks. And we talk all things Disney, Universal. We break stuff down. We're talking about D23, which is literally what, just under 3 weeks away. HHN and so much more. It's such a great time.
Absolutely. We got a lot to look forward to. But before we get into it, really quick, let's say hello to the chat. The hello to my gelato. We got Abby herself in the house. We got John, Make It Rain.
What's
We
up,
got
John?
David. What's up, David? Let's see
David?
what we have coming on down here. We have Mademoiselle.
What's up?
Let's see. We got Many Dogs 5. Welcome in. Let's see. We got, was this Troxy? I do apologize when they combine it. Troxy May, big fan. Welcome in. Owen Kraft.
Got a lot of people.
Let's see. Well, the thing, John, is as far as like what spoilers go, everything that they announced is pretty much really out in the open at this point. So we're basically just going to talk about what they announced. As far as like what spoilers to the actual movie goes, it's really anyone's guess, unless we were actually there in the room, which unfortunately none of us were. I really wish we were, but any case, I'm going to bring this up really quick. This is kind of like a little short to kind of cap off of everything that was showcased at Hall H. And so we're going to watch this real quick, and then we'll get into the details. So everyone enjoy.
It's good to be back here. Just because the lights go out does not mean it's a sign. This is a character I've wanted to play for a very long time. Director Sean Levy. December 20th.
Talking about movies that are coming out in the future, right? That's what we're doing here.
But we're going to need some help. Right? Can you come join us?
And without further delay, Robert Downey Jr.
Who's this guy with the swords and stuff?
His first question is for Mr. Paul Blood. Where is Thor, and why was he crying?
And like Kevin likes to say, there is one more thing. I want you guys to give a warm welcome to our new Black Panther, Mr. David Johnson.
Thank you to this amazing family that I have the honor, the privilege, and the blessing to join.
That was a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there was a lot more in detail of what went on. I just more so wanted to give like a little. Oh, hold on.
A little bit of snippet.
There we go. Yeah, a little snippet. So sorry, it actually kept on running as I was talking. It was interrupting me. So rude. But in any case, Tommy, I'm going to start with you, kind of to kick it off, because I was actually on the phone with you yesterday. I think it was like 28 minutes out before the actual panel started.
Right.
And you were going to say, like big things are going to happen. So obviously a lot of things happen. So if you want to kick us off of just your overall thoughts.
Overall thoughts, man. We just saw it too. You just replayed it. The biggest thing to me is Ghost Rider. I mean, Ryan Gosling becoming Ghost Rider. The crazy thing is with that one, I'm just, very intrigued. I really want to see if he's going to be Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch. I mean, there's two different Ghost Riders, right? So to be able to, work one of those for sure is probably really good for him. I'm just wondering, if he picks Danny Ketch, then he can leave Johnny Blaze to Nicolas Cage still. I know that was like almost 20 years ago, but a lot of people wonder, is it just recycling, or are they going to bring in Nick Cage eventually? But who cares about that right now? And then, of course, we got Black Panther, man. We got the new Black Panther, David Johnson. He was in, A Long Walk. That's almost like a horror. It's like Stephen King. He did really good in that. Really solid acting. It's pretty good. And then he was in Alien Romulus, of course, which is like a horror sci-fi. So, he can handle those strong scenes. A lot of people thought it was going to be Damon Idris from Snowfall. So there's a chance between either of those two. But, they went with who they went with. And, this is going to be crazy. I mean, who knows? I mean, does Shuri die in Doomsday? I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Conductor?
I don't know. It's kind of, like I said, it's a lot to break down. Like, I'm going to start with, the whole Ghost Rider thing. I think Ryan Gosling, I was not expecting that. I kind of have heard whispers and murmurs for maybe about 8 months now, off and on, through the chat forums online and whatnot. I think it is kind of interesting that you have him replacing possibly Nicolas Cage, but then it kind of frees up Nicolas Cage for a possible National Treasure 3 that's been floating around for years and years and years. That would be absolutely incredible to see at D23 and that to be announced. He's going to have a busy year with Ghost Rider and the new Star Wars movie he's going to be part of, which is Starfighter. He has a lot of stuff going on, so I'm very happy for him. Now, I find it very interesting that they found a new person for Black Panther. I'm glad they did. I'm glad Kevin Feige and the team have a lot of faith in this actor to kind of replace Chad Boswick in a way, because sadly he passed away. And I think the biggest news out of everything was the interaction between the Avengers Doomsday cast, RDJ, and, Marvel Genius, as they call him, aka Deadpool, which was Ryan Reynolds, which was completely funny in a way. I told George this on the phone. I said he went the entire weekend of San Diego Comic-Con with nobody knowing it was actually him. He never said a word. He just, took photos with people on the showroom floor, so no one had any idea. It was the most legendary thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I think that was very creative. And honestly, the fact that, he was just out and about with everybody, that everyone was taking pictures with him, making hard hands. I actually think there was one photo someone posted where like he lifted his leg up and the guy held his leg. Little did he know he was holding Ryan Reynolds' leg up. That was like really,
That's
and then Mr. Bryan, is it supposed to be Black Panther's kid, right? Correct. This is supposed to be his son. Years later, after they showed the end credit scene of Black Panther 2.
Yes.
Right. And who doesn't love like a son becoming his father's story, like, trying to fill his shoes, all the problems with that, and then becoming his own person. I mean, number 3 has potential, and like basically like they didn't like he wasn't there. They didn't announce it fully, but Denzel Washington's supposed to be in it too. So I mean, the cast is going to be stacked. I mean, I think Black Panther 3 has a lot to offer.
Yeah, I think with Black Panther 2, we all kind of knew that this was going to be a different movie than the first one, due to the fact of the unforeseen circumstances of Chadwick. So we all kind of knew that it was going to be like a hit or miss. But yeah, I think now, they moved the story along nicely, where now, T'Challa's son will don the Panther suit, and it brings in a new generation now, because now they could really utilize Black Panther again. Now I'm very curious to see like what they do as far as like meet and greets with Black Panther, if like they'll then have 3 different renditions to meet in the parks, where you can meet T'Challa, his son, or Shuri. So that's going to be very interesting, because of you just have to like swap out like the time frame, like when you would have the character out.
Well, see, it begs the question, George, if what's his costume going to be like? Because if the costume's a little bit different, then I 100% agree with you. If it's a exact copy of what Chad Boswick wore in Black Panther, I would be very curious on how they're gonna, play that off, being an Avengers campus. So we'll have to wait and see on that. One thing I will say, and it's actually interesting, because a video that just dropped about 2 hours ago that me and George did earlier today with Boardwalk Times, Zach was saying he puts almost nearly 100% guarantee to promote the Doomsday movie. We're going to have Dr. Doom in Avengers Campus. Yeah. And I said, after he said that, it got me thinking, because there's these pictures on social media where Dr. Doom's like whole outfit that RDJ wears in the movie on display on the showroom floor, but then you have the Dr. Doom variant witches, and there's like 3 or 4 of them, and I'm like, okay, now we're getting real, because think about it for a second. If they do a nighttime debut at Avengers Campus, and you have Dr. Doom and the 4 witches come out, and it turns into this whole spectacular at night, imagine the attention that's going to grab.
That would take me like back to the past, because that would be literally like the Italiano X's past. Just say, no, in all seriousness, that would be like really cool. But also too, what I'm curious about is, and Tommy, you and I were kind of like talking about this before, like we actually went live, is they dropped a lot of stuff, but there's still room that they can drop more, because I think a lot of people were discussing why wasn't X-Men mentioned? And Tommy, you even mentioned it before. A lot of people were saying Denzel Washington's going to be part of Black Panther 3. Why wasn't he there? Well, I'm going to share my screen really quick, and I thought this was genius of how they did this. So this is on X. This was courtesy of Just a Nerd, and it says, San Diego Comic-Con is over. Marvel Studios will return at D23 on August 14th, 2026, which is basically the studio showcase.
Yes.
Now, this begs the question that if they mentioned everything that they really wanted to at San Diego, they would just be repeating themselves at D23. And I think a lot of fans that are going to this would be very disappointed to know that literally it was just mirrored news that was a couple weeks prior. So my prediction for D23, I think we're going to get the cast of X-Men. I think we're going to get more info on X-Men. I think all the celebrities that were there at San Diego are going to actually come to the Honda Center. And I think, honestly, by adding another one, too, I think Denzel Washington also may be there as well. But I'm going to ask you guys, what do you guys think as far as now moving Marvel into the D23 realm?
Tommy?
Man, I'm pumped. I actually agree with you. I think they're going to have to show the X-Men cast. I mean, they're definitely saying that this movie, is off the ground, basically, and they want to get it going. So, we got the Ghost Rider. I mean, just announce the X-Men now. You know what? Also, though, just a sleeper hit. I'm rooting for it. Hopefully, they announce Shang-Chi too. You know what I mean? Or Shang-Chi too.
Yes.
I think we need that. Obviously, they don't want to announce it. I guess maybe they won't announce it because then it'll say that he's still alive through Doomsday and stuff and Secret War. So maybe we won't get that. Maybe they're just sticking to the new guns. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just talking that out loud. I'm like, oh, I wonder what else they could announce. Like, I guess more Spider-Man movies. Maybe just off the heels of Brand New Day. Maybe they're like, oh, Spider-Man 5 will be this date. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. And I think for that, and again, I'm not saying this is spoilers or anything. I'm just going by what I think.
Right.
I think there's going to be one more Spider-Man. I think possibly with Tom Holland, because I know that he and Zendaya are looking to kind of settle down, take some time off, possibly have a baby. There was some circulation going on around there that I think they're probably going to do one more, and I probably would call it One Last Day. That's what I would call it. And I think after then, it's like, well, who would be the next Spider-Man? I think that's when they'll start going into the Miles segue of live action, like into the Spider-Verse
100%
kind of thing. And then Conductor, before I move to you, Xtina's Fighter 2000 says, I think they will show the same trailer and a scene. I agree with you. They're definitely going to show the actual, what I like to call now, the true Doomsday trailer. Marvel was sneaky cheeky. They dropped that trailer on us when the tickets went on sale. That wasn't even the real one. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't the official. So I think we will get that exact trailer at D23. And I also agree with you. I think we may get like a 10 or 15 minute scene of part of the movie, I would think.
That would be definitely interesting. I think if Kevin Feige and the team do something exclusive for D23 on Doomsday, that would be amazing. I think, on something like this to really promote Doomsday, being that, San Diego Comic-Con is one thing. That's one mega giant right there. And they did what they did, and it was incredible. It's a whole nother for D23 because the Marvel Universe is actually not just represented, in movies, through characters, through TV series, but also in the Disney parks. So I think, like you mentioned, we're going to get the trailer. We might get a 10-minute scene. We might, maybe, and I'm hoping, because all the people at Comic-Con and Hall H, I'm so jealous because that poster that they showed of Doctor Doom and the green fog, they actually gave the actual poster to everyone in Hall H. So I'm hoping we get something like that. It's far-fetched, but you can always hope.
Can I ask you guys a really quick question? It just now dawned on me. While they're setting up all these things for San Diego Comic-Con, especially for Marvel in Hall H, so they're getting everything set up. So prior to that, does that mean that they call it Preparation H?
I knew something was
No, it's true.
Sorry, I had to.
No, it's all good. No, I think they could. Who knows? I think personally on the showroom floor, because we were kind of looking at it, me and George today, and it was quite interesting how Disney is sneaky, because a good friend of ours, Theme Park IQ, dropped a picture that was a montage of all three pictures put into one of the showroom floor of the convention center where things are going to be at. It's not finalized, but just a concept. And there was a Marvel area, being that George told me that that's more likely going to be the TVA area experience. But it wouldn't shock me if they have a little display area of Doctor Doom, his costume, like we saw at Comic-Con with the witches. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome, to really showcase Doomsday, because this is literally D23 is the last time that they can really market and showcase Doomsday, because this is going to be the last kind of big convention, before the movie comes out in December, so they're going to go all hog wild on this, especially. So yeah, I could definitely see that. I don't know if it'll be part of the that walkthrough, but yeah, they will have it part of the Marvel pavilion. I'm for sure they'll have something for sure.
Is that panel Sunday?
That one is going to be Friday, first night.
Friday, really?
Yeah.
Marvel is Friday. So Marvel being Friday, is there a possibility, George, because you've been to D23 a lot, will this affect the rest of the days? Will they release some crazy X-Men item? Will the actors go there on some fluke stuff? What if they announce X-Men Friday? Could they just walk through Saturday, Sunday? I mean, is there a chance, or what do you think?
No, I think honestly, being that it's the studio showcase, everything that they would announce for the Marvel, as far as the films go, everything would be dropped on Friday.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you never know. Saturday, Sunday, the actors, if they drop it, they could come around. I mean,
now I will say this: depending on what they have planned for the showroom floor,
right?
If nothing was mentioned prior, they could add things to the showroom floor.
See,
that they can do.
That would be crazy. Imagine if they're announcing the X-Men cast, and it's all the solid ones, and then they show the outfits for all of them and stuff.
Oh, no, definitely. And
I think if it comes to adding X-Men to the parks, I think they're going to wait and see after the films to see how really well they do. Even though X-Men, I mean, we're all anticipating them.
Sure.
We loved, prior X-Men movies, Wolverine, obviously with Hugh Jackman. But I think moving forward, that's going to be the pinnacle moment, is how can X-Men for a newer generation hold in the MCU.
Well, Abby makes a great point, because she points out LA Comic-Con is from October 30th to November 1st. So they could actually talk about Doomsday there. So you would have
that is true.
San Diego Comic-Con, D23, and now LA Comic-Con, and each convention could have a personalized sneak peek of Doomsday, which would be really cool.
I mean, it's very possible. Yeah, I forgot about the LA Comic-Con. I think it's because if this is the one that we went to, that one was a little bit strange. I don't know why. Their panels were just kind of out there, but I can see if it's a big year for Marvel, they may utilize that Comic-Con for sure.
Interesting.
Now I wanted to bring up here we go. Brian had said Spider-Man looks like it's going to have a monster opening this weekend. Seeing people say 300 million domestically alone, that is actually true. Like they're calling this like one of the biggest movies of the year. This is actually going to go up against the Odyssey, and honestly, even up against Doomsday itself, because they're already saying it's going to surpass Far From Home.
Wow.
Yeah, and No Way Home. So like the thing with Spider-Man is this, it's going to sell, man. It's going to sell for sure. And they're like the director, Destin, he even said straight up that he got some inspiration from Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, the PS5 games. So, realistically, some aerodynamics when he's swinging and some of the movements are going to look like that. He's swinging through New York, we're definitely getting back to basics here while still progressing forward, which I'm really cool with. It's crazy that this movie is like the last movie before both Avengers movies. I mean, there's nothing in the middle of Doomsday and Secret Wars. So, we're getting Spider-Man, and, in the interviews, Zendaya straight up said, like, oh, you may cry in this. So, does that mean people are gonna is it gonna end for some people? Will they get brought back by a symbiote? I mean, you just never know. That's what I'm rooting for. Like, this is all speculation. No one knows what the movie's gonna do, but I will definitely be seeing it Wednesday. I lucked out. I got the Amazon Prime Day ticket, which lets me see it Wednesday, so a day earlier basically than the normal. So I'm pretty pumped with that. Hopefully they still do the full cut and they do like the end credit scenes. Hopefully it just doesn't end, because then I would have to go back and watch that part for sure, right?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. And we got Rudio in the house. Good evening, fellas. Just finished rewatching Deadpool and Wolverine for the first time since release. What a movie. I'm not down on Sean Levy directing Ghost Rider like the rest of the internet. Interesting.
I think Sean Levy, I think he's going to pull the trigger. I mean, man, he's done countless Stranger Things episodes. I mean, he's just going in. I mean, he's directed a lot for sure. I trust him with this. Sounds like they got the plan going because him and Ryan Gosling are in the new Star Wars Starfighter movie. They're working on that together. So I think the manifestation's just there, which I wish really happened with the Blade and Mahershala Ali script. But hey, that may come eventually. Hey, conductor, what do you think? What do you think about when you're at D23 during the Marvel thing? Do you think RDJ will be there? Do you think a lot of actors are going to show up like they did here at San Diego Comic-Con?
I think so. I really do think a lot of them are going to be there. I don't know, maybe about all of them. Like, I mean, RDJ for sure. I think you'll have Chris Evans as obviously Captain America. I think maybe we might see some of the cast that wasn't at San Diego Comic-Con go on stage. So that would be a kind of great way to promote, being on stage with, RDJ, that didn't have the opportunity. I think that's a possibility. Like I said, it could be that, we might get our first look at, how can I put it? Someone actually in the costume of Doctor Doom, and the witches and whatnot. We might get to see this firsthand, and they might, like I said, they might drop a bombshell and say, hey, we're going to be bringing this in the fall as meet and greet characters in Avengers Campus for a limited time to promote Doomsday. Here's, a little, snippet or something like that. I think that might happen.
Now that I think they'll say for the parks.
Yes.
So I think that's where it'll tie into there. Well, because they've done this before where they'll say, someone will come out on stage, probably it'll be Kevin Feige or something, and they'll say, You know, who was here last night during the studio showcase, and everyone will cheer. You know, we got to show you guys the Doomsday trailer. You got to see a little bit of it. Well, guess what? If you want to see Doom in person, you can from this time to this time for a limited time at DCA, because you know it's going to be a limited time. They always do it to kind of promote things and everything. Because Conductor and I were talking earlier, we know that once that date drops, you know, we're going to end up booking a freaking park reservation for that. So
Yeah.
you know, that's just how we do it, you know. Now, another thing that was mentioned at SDCC, which I don't even know if people really, I want to hear your guys' thoughts and everyone in the comments, that of an Eternal sequel that's due to come out July 13th, 2029. Were you expecting this? Is this something that even piques your interest? I mean,
so I didn't really hear about that. I'm not like too against it, but man, they didn't even pay off the end credit scenes from Eternals yet. So I'm not too sure. Of course, we want, oh man, I already forgot his name, but the guy that played Jon Snow, we want his character, to get going off the ground just like we wanted Blade. But I mean, who knows? I do actually like what Rudio was saying earlier, though. He brought up like the fact that D23 may have a lot of Vision Quest around, which is going to be the Disney Plus show for the character Vision when he flew off. No one knows where he's at. You know what? I'll take that. We mentioned what we were talking about with Marvel. There's going to be no movies in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, but we're going to have Vision Quest either before or after Doomsday. And then we get Daredevil season 3, which is probably not during the same timeline, right? They're going to say it was beforehand. But hey, at least we'll have something, because, they're really going to push this movie. I mean, it's looking like Doom is going to win. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel like from the trailer, but then I don't know if you saw the bootleg. I mean, the trailer that people recorded from Comic-Con. I mean, it leaked online. Like, it just looks like the Avengers kind of like lose. I don't know.
Well, I think honestly that's the big expectation, that I can't foresee this having a happy ending, because it's literally has to be a cliffhanger to move into Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Sort of kind of like how they did with Infinity War.
Right.
Moving into Endgame, but who's even to say that Endgame actually had a happy ending in a sense?
Right. But now you're saying Endgame, right? So they're going to do an encore. It's called Avengers Endgame Encore, and they're going to put a bridge in there, like that, something that bridges the gap, right? Like a couple scenes. Is the scene like, is it relating to Tony Stark? Is it relating to Captain America? Or is it relating to Doctor Doom? I really don't think they would do something as heavy as put in another character like Doctor Doom, but I can see them adding something about Captain America where it affects, something maybe. Because they said Doomsday is going to be basically like connected to Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm going to give my, rumor guess. Since you talk about a bridge, I'm just going to go for it. I think there's two possibilities here. I think one is when Tony Stark dies at the battle, and all the characters are around, obviously sad and whatnot, and then there might be a moment in time where they actually leave, and Tony's just left there, and Doom shows up and looks at his former self as a variant. Or it could be the same thing where they're doing the funeral at Tony's house. Okay. Same thing where they have all the characters and whatnot. Then all of a sudden, all the characters leave and Doom shows up at his house. Because we've kind of talked about, it's been talked about a little bit how, with Doctor Doom, he's just another variant of Iron Man. But obviously he's not Iron Man, he's Doctor Doom. And actually, it's interesting because in Endgame, Iron Man actually asked Doctor Strange is this one of the times we win the war? And Doctor Strange tells him, well, if I tell you, then you might, I think he said, you might not like the outcome or something like that. So it begs the question, was that a hint or a tease to that bridge that you're talking about, Tommy?
I mean, it could possibly well be. I mean, who knows what the Russo brothers have in mind? I just don't want them resetting all what we just watched the last couple of years. Not everything was good. I mean, a lot of stuff fell flat, but a lot of stuff was good as well. Kevin Feige definitely proved a point in some of his interviews this time. He's kind of stepping back and he's saying, hey, I'm going to let the actors do that. Like, he said a lot of things. He's going to let Ryan Gosling announce what iteration of Ghost Rider he's going to play. I mean, this is a big thing. I mean, not really, but for comic book fans, it is. Because, I mean, it's either Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch, and people want to know what storylines we're getting. So that to me is cool that he's leaving it to Ryan Gosling to drop the info when he wants. Because to be honest, I mean, he's coming off some heat. I mean, he just did the Project Hail Mary movie, and then that's basically movie of the year until Odyssey came out. So, for this to pivot into a whole new IP for, the MCU, it's going to be pretty fun to watch. I mean, I have to admit, it's weird that we're getting something new that's not X-Men right away. So they probably have to put X-Men in there ASAP, kind of like what George is saying. They're probably just going to announce it at D23 is what I'm praying on. And they say maybe 2029. So 2028, maybe we'll get Ghost Rider in July. Let's say we sit. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Because, I mean, who knows what we're getting for 2027, right? Because 2027 actually, no, wait, that's supposed to be Secret Wars.
It is. And I want to dabble in that for a second.
Yeah.
Are either one of you shocked at all that we didn't even get anything about Secret Wars at Comic-Con? Like, are you shocked by that? And could we see something at D23 about that, like a little snippet of that?
See, if they do decide to do something with Secret Wars, obviously, yeah, they didn't do it at San Diego Comic-Con, but they may do it at D23. The problem with that is they would have to be very careful of what they do show or announce, because then it ruins the factor of Doomsday, because all the events are going to happen after Doomsday that's going to lead into Secret Wars. And that's the unfortunate thing, because Secret Wars comes out of a year without D23. And this is the best time that you could showcase that. But the problem is it's a continuation from Doomsday. But who knows? They still may surprise us. They still may show us something where it'll surprise us, but it won't give anything away from Doomsday. But
okay, oh, go ahead, Tommy, and then
I would just say the date and the logo. I think, what's up? I think basically they'll give us maybe the logo and the date. I think, like George was saying, they have to tread lightly. They can't show any actors or who's going to be there. The thing with Black Panther 3 announcing that and then bringing out the new actor, David Johnson, that's like, okay, we got something fresh that really doesn't ruin anything. So just give us X-Men.
Yeah.
I think really, if they give us X-Men, like, all will be forgiven.
Yeah.
with that notion. But I want to share my screen really quick, because we were talking about the Endgame encore, and this was courtesy of David Bitkoff, and it's saying Kevin Feige reveals new details about Avengers Endgame encore and Infinity Vision. 9 minutes of brand new footage, a new intro sequence, never before seen scenes, a post-credit scene that reportedly leads directly into Avengers Doomsday. And then Feige also confirms that Avengers Doomsday picks up after Endgame while tying into the original X-Men universe, setting up the long-awaited awaited Avengers versus X-Men crossover event.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this actually could be much bigger than what we were anticipating. Speaking of X-Men, we're thinking Doomsday is going to be big, leading into Secret Wars, which is going to be gigantic. But Secret Wars could be leading into an even bigger event, which is Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah. No, 100%. So, again, we can only speculate on what is going to be talked about at D23 with Avengers Doomsday. You know, what the bridge is going to look like if they even want to talk about it. Because they might not even say anything about the bridge. Because if you think about it, why would they talk about it or even show anything of it? You know, if they weren't re-releasing Endgame in theaters. They want people to go back to the theaters to go see Endgame, to see that 9 minutes of missing footage.
Well, and I do like your idea of like crossing, like where could Doom actually come face to face with Tony Stark, you know, at some point. That would be chilling.
Yeah.
But Abby then says, they may add Secret Wars into San Diego Comic-Con 2027. So there is room for that as well. And then kind of tying into all that and kind of going back to Spider-Man, I do believe that there's going to be, Tommy, you had mentioned a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene after Brand New Day. That's
what I heard. I mean, it's speculation, but that's what I heard.
Because if that's the case, that means it would be one credit would be kind of moving like along of the Spider-Man franchise,
right,
and the other one would lead into Doomsday,
right. And these aren't spoilers, people. This is just pure speculation off of what people say in interviews. I mean, even Kevin Feige said recently during all these runs, even with Spider-Man Brand New Day running into San Diego Comic-Con, and then we're going to see Kevin Feige again for D23. So it's a good year. But he basically was saying, hey, once Beyond the Spider-Verse is done at Sony, they're going to try to get in Miles into the MCU. It sounds like Sony's probably going to let them deal with it in the MCU and not try to handle it themselves on their own, which thankfully that's what I really want. I think it's what George was kind of saying earlier too, in my opinion. I think they have Tom for a couple more movies guaranteed. So they could do these 2 Avengers movies because he's going to be in Doomsday, but as who? Maybe it's Symbiote Spider-Man, who knows? But maybe Spider-Man 5, like you said, could be the mid-credit scene. Maybe it sets up Miles. Maybe they introduce Miles in 5, and then like by 6, maybe it's just all about Miles. I mean, who knows, right?
That's very true. Right. I think they're setting the stage. And that's the thing with Marvel. Like, they always set the stage that you think it's going to be the biggest thing. Like, Doomsday could be the biggest thing this year that's going to lead into Secret Wars. But then, as I mentioned, Secret Wars might lead into Avengers versus X-Men. And the same thing that you just had mentioned, Tommy, where, you know, and even Brian had mentioned, you know, with Brand New Day being like the biggest Spider-Man movie thus far. But that's just right now, leading into Miles into the Spider-Verse, like that can create a whole nother spider web, no pun intended.
No, 100%. I want to ask you both, because I kind of mentioned it at the top of the show, is with the whole interaction between Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, and the Avengers Doomsday cast. Obviously, he wore a different version of the Deadpool costume. Was that a hint at possibly that costume and Ryan Reynolds wearing that costume in either Doomsday or Secret Wars?
I mean, it's open. I mean, I don't see why not, conductor. I mean, it's all ball. I'm down. And we haven't seen Deadpool, you know, and everybody loves Deadpool off of Deadpool and Wolverine. The thing is, that's like his X-Force suit. And this one looks like he did like a jean version. He's saying it's like jean material. He's pretty funny to do that. That's how big of a fan he is. Saying Deadpool 4 too. I mean, they have not announced that. What if he comes out there and he's like walking like through the crowd as Deadpool? You never know what you're going to get. I mean, you guys might meet him right there in front of your face. That thing was hella funny though. I know you think it was funny too. He just comes up, he's like asking a question, like he's just like a fan. Doesn't take off his mask though, because I think it's harder to put back on, right? I mean,
Yes.
but we all could agree that was him, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because he
And then
posted
they-
the video
and then they
on
confirmed-
IG.
And then they also confirmed it, like where they showed him getting dressed.
Right.
Outfit,
He's
yeah.
doing it on IG. I'm just wondering, like, man, if Conductor's right and that's like the suit he wears, like if he's in the X-Force suit, you know, in Doomsday or whatever we get, man, that's going to be something cool to look at. I mean, we always get cool iterations of these characters, and it's not ever the same. I mean, that's what I like about Marvel.
And 2 years ago at D23, they showcased Deadpool, like where he came out. It wasn't Ryan Reynolds, obviously, but I mean, but they still showcased the character, and he was making jokes about the company, and you know, you sound like a broken Yeti kind of thing. Like that was like very, you know, it was the deadpan comedy, you know, of it. And then they showcased him in the parks for the story time with Deadpool and everything. So yeah, I could definitely see them having Deadpool return for the studio panel, but who knows? They may actually bring out Ryan Reynolds this time as the actual Deadpool.
I think so. Like, I mean, it would be a great opportunity to announce Deadpool 4. Like, I mean, the cat's pretty much out of the bag, because when it comes to leaks, I'm just going to be honest, social media is king. You start seeing one post and you're like, that's AI generated. But then you start seeing more posts about it. It's like, okay, now it has some traction behind it. So I think it would be perfect.
I'm leaning more towards you now, actually, because Ryan, Reynolds has said that there's going to be another iteration of Deadpool, and I think you're right. I think that over Shang-Chi too. I think maybe X-Men, Deadpool, and then talk about Doomsday. I mean, that would be sick. I mean, who knows? But it could be Vision Quest too, like Rudio's saying. I mean, we don't set that out, right?
Well, yeah, because at D23 they won't just talk about the films. They'll talk about like the shows and streaming service and everything. And someone else had mentioned, do forgive me, someone mentioned it, Wanda, like a Wanda film, or you know, that there's speculation that, you know, she's going to come back, but she's going to be on Doom's side. Again, this is all speculation, folks. I don't know it. This is just the fandom talking and everything. But yeah, with Vision Quest, like they'll like talk about like the streaming services of like what's going to interconnect there and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Like not even just like with the Marvel side of it, but just the studio showcase itself.
Yeah.
Really quick, want to thank Abs for the 440 joules. Thank you very much. And then Mademoiselle asked, is Dr. Doom a variant of Tony? I don't think he is. I don't know.
That's a big if. And then, a lot of people, that's a good speculation. I like that. A lot of people are wondering what connection this is, and what Conductor's saying could be, a connection of that. So we just don't know. I mean, there has been a leaked script that came out like 6 months ago. I mean, do you believe it? I mean, I don't know. We're not going to repeat any of that here, but like, it's just stuff that happens in this movie has to connect to something, I think, because there's no backbone. I mean, the only thing we got was some form of Dr. Doom, and it could be the woman that Conductor was talking about at the end credits of Fantastic Four. So we really don't have much to base this off of, because all the stuff with Kang, that it was supposed to be Kang. This was supposed to be Kang Dynasty. I mean, in another reality, we're doing Kang Dynasty here with all the Young Avengers and everything leading up, which would be insane, because with that fumble behind the scenes of what happened to the actor that played Kang, just set up Robert Downey Jr. to be goated. I mean, they gave this guy a jet. I mean, like 10 milli, 24/7 security, just, to be this role. I mean, this is crazy. What is he going to do in this movie that he needs 24/7 security? I mean, Jesus, bro. If he kills off all the Avengers, people are going to be upset. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. You just answered your own question.
Right.
Oh my gosh. You're not wrong.
But
you're
yeah,
right.
because we have to take into consideration, as mentioned earlier, it's not going to be a pretty ending. It just can't.
No,
know?
no, it can't. And I think that's why I kind of like how they built Avengers Campus in DCA. Like, I mean, obviously it's Avengers, but they didn't make it, what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't make it too unique to one Avenger. That means like you can have all different versions of Avengers throughout the timeline visit Avengers Campus. That's what I think Disney really did very brilliantly on building that land in DCA. Is that, like, I mean, they really kind of they thought about it, and they're like, hey, well, we can have Doctor Doom at one point, we can have Kane come out, we can have, all these different characters, and that's what I love about it. My question to you both, because we've seen in the past with Disney, they've done media red carpets at Disneyland for Pirates of the Caribbean. And I know I'm going crazy here, but bear with me. What if they do a red carpet event at Avengers Campus for either, I don't think it's going to be Doomsday, I don't think, because the new expansion won't be ready, but what if they did for Secret Wars? Because obviously
that would be really cool. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it for Doomsday, because I think they're actually going to hold the premiere up in LA, which I did actually sign up for. Cross my fingers. Hopefully, we'll see. But that would be really cool. I absolutely love. I'm actually jealous for the people. I know it was probably. I think Mademoiselle actually attended the premiere of Pirates of the Caribbean when they had it in the park. I just think that is like so unique and different. Like, I would love to see that again, because I would like to actually be a part of that. Yeah. But yeah, Abby says, agree, conductor, the timeline for Avengers Campus is evergreen and can really incorporate all the different characters, unlike Galaxy's Edge, which, yeah, that's the problem that I think Disney's trying to get out of Galaxy's Edge now. By having the original characters and everything. So they kind of started off with Avengers. They're just like, yeah, we're just going to throw the characters randomly, to promote the streaming service, to promote a movie, or what have you. But kind of on that a little bit, I know it's kind of off but it still ties into with Disney, with the studio and the parks. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are wondering, like, why they haven't touched, obviously because of the Eastern Gateway, but like news of like what's going to go in the Simba parking lot. Well, I think with all this news coming out with Marvel, it's giving a much broader horizon, future by having them in the park. And I think it's not just going to stop at the campus, because the campus is already gridlocked in the park. And I think a lot of the Simba lot could become Wakanda, not even just because of T'Challa, but because now moving forward with his son taking over, that storyline, we're going to maybe hear more of course, with X-Men. I don't know if they'll move X-Men, into the campus. Again, it's too small, but they can do an X-Men area over at the Simba lot. There's a lot of room there. So I think, honestly, looking at the future of Marvel with all these films and projects and what have you, I could see it definitely leaking into the park space.
Yeah.
Me too. I mean, 100%. And, I think the fan in me, or just listening to you talk about that, George, is like, I know we need material for them to produce and use it in the theme park. So let's say we get X-Men in 2029, and then let's say it just progresses and there's more like single X-Men movies that come out, one-offs. Let's say we have Avengers Campus and then we get Xavier's school, right? So it kind of plays along with each other. That would be pretty fire, I have to admit. But, just thinking about if Doctor Doom comes, just going back to that, they're going to do something like how Deadpool had like a reading session. I think they have to do something with Doctor Doom where like he stops and there's a show for at least 10 minutes. I mean, there has to be something. It can't just be a meet and greet like Red Guardian. I think he's too big for that. I think someone needs. I think it'll be satisfying more. They'll satisfy more people if they do the show because they can't do the meet and greet.
I think it would be a nighttime show because I kind of feel like Doctor Doom is from reading the comic books and kind of getting what I'm hearing about Doomsday. I kind of feel Doctor Doom is like one of those, like he'll show up to the party and the party will stop and dissipate because he stops everything. So I think a nighttime show of Doctor Doom coming out for about a 10-minute show, I think that would be brilliant. I think they could really pull that off like 100% brilliantly. And I agree with you. I don't think a meet and greet is like the perfect thing to do. Like, I mean, obviously maybe on day one, like the grand opening day of him coming out, he can come out during the day, like, for the cameras and stuff like that. But I think a nighttime show at Avengers Campus would be legit.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys this? I've mentioned this before, and I think I'm going to mention it again because we are getting closer to Doomsday. With all the hype of the movie,
Sure.
with Victor Von Doom, like he's like the new bad guy on the block. Like it seems like RDJ is going to kill it. No pun intended, but literally and figuratively. And then moving into Secret Wars, and then beyond that with X-Men. And we're soon about to get a new ride, Infinity Defense, which I'm excited for. Don't get me wrong. But I wonder if you guys know where I'm going with this. With all the hype with Doom and everything, and now we're going to backtrack, and it's like, oh, well, here comes Thanos, and it's like, I get it. I know it's going to be a great ride. I'm going to love it, I'm for sure. But I just felt like with this ride was like kicking the can down the road for 7 years.
Yeah.
And soon to be 8 years because it's opening sometime next year. But it was announced originally back in 2019.
Right.
Like, do you think, and I think honestly for a lot of park goers and for newbies, they're just going to enjoy a new ride. And I'm for sure we are too. But just looking at it like more ingrained into us, like the nerd kind, with all the hype of Doctor Doom and everything, do you think by having King Thanos, like, do you think that it's going to be as strong with that kind of antagonist in that ride?
Tommy, go ahead.
I mean, I think this has been the big debate for a while. I mean, because we all get bored with the same repetitive thing that's been talked about. Who knows? We may get King Thanos in Doomsday. I mean, that will revigorate the character, huh? Anyways, what if they just stick to what sells? They built Thanos up to what he became, and that's its own chunk, the Infinity Saga. I mean, we know that's untouchable. It's golden. You might as well put the character in there. It just sucks, like you said, we're all moved on and progressed to Doctor Doom. But realistically, Doctor Doom may be only in 2 movies. So
True.
To remove Thanos just for Doom, money-wise, they probably think everybody knows Thanos compared to Doctor Doom, even though Doctor Doom was one of the first characters that has ever been, like, villainized in, like, a comic, you know what I mean? Like Kevin Feige said, I mean, maybe even Darth Vader was made, maybe, Doctor Doom had some hand in that, people, like, looking at that. But I'm not going to lie, I don't want this to get jaded too much. I want the ride to be its own thing. And I just think it still will be King Thanos. I mean, what do you think, Conductor?
So I agree with you. I think King Thanos is going to be part of it. My whole thing is I kind of want to go outside the realm and think that Doctor Doom is going to be part of that ride in some capacity. I think we're going to get the best of both worlds. Like, I mean, it's hard to believe if Thanos is not represented either in Doomsday or Secret Wars, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
but it wouldn't shock me. Like, being that this ride is going to be a hybrid where it's going to be screens and physical like props and stuff like that, so you're going to get the best of both worlds. I think there will be room to add Doctor Doom if they don't have it initially when the ride opens. So that's one thing I think they could do. But let me ask you guys this, because we were talking about from now to at least 2030 about all the Marvel movies that could be coming out. The one that no one's talked about so far, could they figure out how to make a Iron Man 4 and it showcases, you know, Tony's wife, Glenn Paltrow, and his daughter, who becomes now the third iteration of Genius, because obviously you had Howard Stark, Tony Stark, now the daughter, and she figures out how to bring back Tony Stark as another variant and all that. I know I showed a clip, like I think it was my last Conductor Sunday live stream. Obviously it was fan made, it wasn't real by any means, but that trailer actually kind of showcased how she could bring Tony Stark back, how he left all these kind of like secrets for her to find, like how to bring them back and whatnot. I don't know. Again, I don't know if the comment you just brought up where it said Kevin Feige said no reboot in a recent interview. The problem is, and I'm not saying that's not possible. The thing is with me is, obviously Kevin Feige would never, ever, ever, and I mean ever, say that RDJ is coming back as Iron Man. He wouldn't leak that out, even if it was true. So we can only speculate, but you know, since they're coming out with all these movies, it could be possible an Iron Man 4 could happen.
And I think, honestly, in reality, RDJ isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, literally, he is like the face of Marvel right now. I mean, he like kicked it off with the MCU, and he's like the cash cow king right now when it comes to bringing in the fan base. Because I mean, literally, even though his character Tony Stark died in Endgame, sorry folks, spoiler, but that when he stepped up on stage and removed the Doom mask, in that moment, people did not care. It was like RDJ is back. It's in another format, but we got RDJ. He is back in the MCU. And I think somehow, some way, they will find ways to fit him in, I think, for many more phases, I think, to come of MCU.
I think so. Like I said, it's a shot in the dark, but I'm not going to close the book on that. Because, I mean, like you said, he's too much of a cash cow for Marvel and Kevin Feige to say, no, after Doomsday, maybe after Secret Wars, he's done. No, I don't think so. There's no way. As long as Robert Downey Jr. wants to keep doing Marvel movies, whether he portrays Doctor Doom or he portrays, Iron Man, they're going to figure a way. But one thing, like I said, going back, I would 100% like to see maybe for Secret Wars, they do the red carpet in Avengers Campus at DCA. I think that would be the coolest thing ever.
I mean,
so to this comment, MCU cannot rely on RDJ all the time. Time to build new stars. Now, I do agree with you in that sense. I do, because you can't always rely just on one person. And in time, that's where even Disney and Pixar kind of like stuck themselves in the mud, where they constantly just rely on making their sequels, And so when they try to do original new material, it's doesn't go as planned, so to speak. But I still think right now, with the strategy of Kevin Feige and Marvel and everything, I think RDJ is just a safe bet right now, especially coming out of the slump that Marvel went through. I think they're going to really try to go hard out to get themselves out of it, and then they can move forward. I think honestly with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and moving forward, and then even Black Panther, because I feel like with T'Challa's son, it's not just going to end with Black Panther 3. Like
No.
he's going to have his own Black Panther series.
I think so.
I think so too. And to be honest, from what I got, I thought Kevin Feige may have possibly said, I'll have to go back and do some research, so it's all speculation. But I thought for some reason maybe someone had asked him a question about Armor Wars. And he said it's not going to get off the ground anymore, but they're going to rework it into Iron Man. But I just seen someone comment that they're not going to do a reboot of Iron Man. You know what, though? I do honestly think they are going to go the younger route and hire some younger actors for X-Men. I mean, they're trying to finish it off with Doomsday and all the stuff for Secret Wars and maybe do this vintage retro stuff and pay homage to all of them because they're killing it, you know what I mean? But they can't stay in it forever, and we need some young actors. I mean, there's been some rustling going around. You kind of hear maybe who could be who and see how it goes, but we'll never know until they really drop it. And I just wonder what X-Men they'll actually do. I mean, who will be the main protagonist? I mean, will it be Wolverine? I mean, probably not, right? I mean, it could be Cyclops. It could be someone else. I mean, everybody wants Sadie Sink to be Jean Grey in Spider-Man 4. I just don't think it is. I mean, if it is, she'll be in not Hall H, but she'll be at D23 then for sure if she's Jean Grey, because that means she'd be the first X-Men announced. But I really don't think she is. I think she's something with the sun. I forgot what character that is, but I think she does something with that. I'm not sure if you guys have any speculation on
my hard take with Sadie Sink is she's going to be in Brand New Day. I don't think she's actually going to be in the movie. She's going to be in one of the end credit scenes.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it.
I think that would be the segue to then have her at D23 to elaborate more on her character for future movies, because Brand New Day would already be out.
Yep.
So that would be a perfect segue if that was the case. And John's asking, because I don't think it's going to be Wolverine just yet. I think Hugh Jackman still has some gas in his tank to still do. But in time, it's probably going to eventually be. Do you guys have any ideas who would be a new, younger Wolverine?
Right now, I don't, because like you just said, I mean, Hugh Jackman probably has some gas in his tank, and maybe they won't drop anything, and then by that time, it'll be some new up-and-coming actor that's around.
Yeah, probably.
Could you see Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans also be part of post-Secret Wars era?
I could see Thor 5. I mean, I do think Thor 5 is going to happen. I actually think Doom's going to kill Thor and then just Loki's still around. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people – I have high expectations for this movie. I mean, hopefully, it's just villainized, because we need something crazy to happen, because I just hate to keep saying it, but, man, there's no buildup. Like, we're all pumped. There's buildup in real life. We're going to San Diego Comic-Con. We see RDJ. We hear everything on social media and posts, but when you're watching it just in movies, I mean, there's not much. That's why they need to do this encore thing in Infinity Vision. And, you know, I love Marvel and I love Disney and everything, but I just don't understand this Infinity Vision. I mean, no one's going to go into these movie theaters and add in an extra feature. I mean, this basically means nothing to me, right? I mean, Infinity Vision is probably nothing. But going back to what they're saying, Chris Evans, he basically said he came back because RDJ came back. I mean, he said he got pitched a dozen times by Kevin Feige and them to come back as Nomad. So Chris Evans will probably always be showing up as Captain America. Now, Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, I don't know. And like I said, Chris Hemsworth, I think Thor 5. I mean, what do you think, Conductor?
I think Mark Ruffalo, to start off, I would like to see him come back as Hulk. I don't know if he will. Mm-hmm. I think personally for me, like you said, Thor 5 is probably going to happen. But I do agree with you at some point. It's like, okay, at what point will we reach the top of the mountain here? You know, because it keeps building up. It keeps building up. It's like, okay, what's going to happen next. And who knows, we might even get a new Stranger Things. Jeez.
You got HHN on your mind, bro.
Yeah, he does. He does.
We might get a new Doctor Strange announcement.
I did see Abby leave that in the comments. That would be cool if we had Doctor Strange 3. Then you would know we're getting that coming up. I just know that everybody knows like Spider-Man is probably not going to die, right? Or he'll come back or something. I feel like it will always be a Spider-Man movie, so that would be a safe bet. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
Especially for Sony, because Spider-Man is Sony's bread and butter right now.
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, they're not going to let him go anytime soon. Which MCU characters would you let go?
In Doomsday? Is that what we're going to just connect it to?
Yeah, we'll base it off of that.
Let's say, okay, so I want this movie, I want the trailer to be faking us out to a certain extent where there's a ton of more characters in this movie. Then I want a lot of these characters to lose. You know what I mean? I want maybe Thunderbolts to go, some of them to go really quick. I mean, Ant-Man, you're long overdue.
You have
buddy.
mentioned Ant-Man like so many times.
Ant-Man, you got to go, buddy. Paul Rudd, you killed it. The movies were good up until they weren't. It's time that you sacrifice yourself so your daughter could fight for your vengeance in Secret Wars. I'm cool with that. That's a big setup. And then maybe they bring them back. You never know. I mean, you could still bring some back. I just know, we're not getting Hawkeye because the actor kind of blew it with season 2 of that show. But that's okay as long as he's healthy and stuff because he had an accident. Just real quick, because I know I want you guys to go too. So all the Thunderbolts got to go. They're done. I think Thor may not make it, and that would be crazy to see Thor lose because he doesn't lose often. And then I think Captain America eventually loses someone or becomes a villain.
Okay. A hot take of mine, honestly, I don't mind Thor if Thor loses. I really. Kind of out of the original Avengers. I don't know why. A hot take, folks. I do apologize. I don't know. He just annoys me. I love Chris Hemsworth. Like he's a phenomenal actor. I think like he is Thor, but I think just Thor as the character, he just gets to me. I don't know why.
Wow. That is interesting. I think personally for me, God, that's a tough one. If we're basing off just Doomsday, oh man, I agree with one of Tommy's choices is Ant-Man. I think his time's done,
especially after Quantumania.
Yeah. I think Shuri too, though. I think Black Panther. I think Shuri's going to sacrifice herself.
Yeah, I think she's another possibility. I don't know, man.
Some of the X-Men, maybe.
Maybe well, obviously, okay. I think because what was it? Oh my gosh, Dr. Xavier's character,
Professor X.
Professor X. Obviously, he's gonna sacrifice himself.
Okay.
And Magneto's gonna sacrifice himself because both actors have basically said after Doomsday they're gonna retire. So I think they're gonna sacrifice themselves. I'm trying to think here. If I had to choose one, I think it's gonna be if she's in it, or maybe he makes a cameo. I think Black Widow.
Okay, so Black Widow, it's Yelena Belova's. So she is in the Thunderbolts, so she's there. But Scarlet Witch isn't coming back, at least from what we know. But you know what's cool? Hot Toys and Marvel Legends and Sideshow, they all released their models of their action figures for Doomsday. So you can actually go see the costumes that they're wearing, like Magneto's full drip. I mean, it's crazy. These characters look sick in their costume, too, per these action figures.
So, Rudio says, I think Chris Hemsworth is seeing the finish line, especially him knowing his health risks recently with Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I did not.
So I didn't know that, but I mean, if
Oh.
for Chris Hemsworth, I mean that has to be rough, especially because he's not that old. I mean,
Well, I think it's like a show that they came in and they said Alzheimer's is hereditary, and he's trying to prevent it. Like,
oh, okay. I was
yeah,
gonna
at least that's
but,
what I got.
yeah, but speaking of the character Thor himself, yeah, like I'm sorry, Mademoiselle, Thor can go. I love the first two Thor movies. I was fine with. He lost me with Ragnarok and Love and Thunder. I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Chris Hemsworth bare ass and everything, and like it was more placating of a hero god that's very comical, and it's like I lost the interest to take him serious, and that's just me. So I think out of all the Avengers, it was just
I think one more character that I think is going to sacrifice himself, and it's in X-Men, is Cyclops.
Oh yeah,
sacrifice himself.
Any multiverse saga characters you would like off, like Shang-Chi or any Thunderbolt member?
Well, I like Shang-Chi, but he could lose. I mean, it looks like he's fighting Gambit and he's going to fight Doctor Doom. I mean, he's losing. If Doctor Doom's like taking stuff from him, he's not going to win.
Oh,
you know?
no.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting to me that they decided to use Gambit. Like, I mean, we saw him in Deadpool and Wolverine. I do kind of find it interesting. I don't know the reception he really got in Deadpool and Wolverine. So his career in the MCU might not last long. And then what's going to be the end story for was it oh my gosh, the other character that was in that movie, not Blade Runner, but Blade,
right, Wesley Snipes. Yeah,
I mean, because a lot of people thought that was going to be mentioned too.
Yes.
We just can't get it off the ground, man.
do you think we're even going to get, like, let me rephrase that. I think we're going to get Blade, but are we going to get the Wesley Snipes Blade?
Ooh.
That's the question.
Or it was supposed to be Mahershala Ali. They just couldn't get it off the ground. They went through 2 scripts.
Dang.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And Kevin Feige admits it. I mean, he says he feels like, that he can't believe, like, a failure. He couldn't get it off the ground, which is bad, because that's why I like this Ryan Gosling thing with Ghost Rider, because he already is working with Sean Levy and he already came up with a whole direction that they want to go, and they know the finish line. And this is what I like. I mean, a prepped plan delivered to Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige's just loving it. So just take it.
Let me ask you guys this, because Kevin, I'm almost certain of it, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Right. I think Kevin Feige put out a post, though, saying that he has enough material for, the MCU to go all the way to 2042. So what is that going to look like?
I know.
Because a lot of these actors we're seeing in the, the Avengers movies, they're not getting younger. So it's like, okay, how much longer is RDJ going to be part of it? How much longer is Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Tom Holland? The list goes on.
I think, honestly, for those particular actors, I feel like they brought them back because of the rut that Marvel was going in. Oh, sure. And I think it's going to lead into, it's almost like using them to set the stage for the newer generation of actors that's going to take on the roles by utilizing the storyline in the multiverse, so to speak. And then Rudio says, biggest fumble considering we know a lot of the assets for Sinners were originally for Blade.
Yeah, good memory, man. Good memory. Ryan Coogler came up on that. That's crazy. I mean, way to repurpose that, though, for sure. For sure. That could have been, man, Mahershala Ali, man. He only got to do, like, one thing. Like, what did he do? He did the voiceover in Marvel Zombies or a What If show. Jeez, man. I know.
Let's see. Sanjay said, "Do you feel MCU has too many characters in teams? Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Wakandas."
And you're talking about Doomsday. I mean, they're all going to fight. I mean, this is what we're doing. I mean, you see Shang-Chi fighting Gambit. So in the trailer, that's in the movie trailer. So, my thing is I always thought Doctor Doom's just one person, and 20 other high-paid actors going against one villain on screen. It's not going to work the whole time. They could do a scene where he's blasting them all off, but he needs other people to fight. They need other people to fight. So I think it's going to be X-Men versus Avengers, with Thunderbolts helping Avengers, and because they're new Avengers now. Fantastic Four. Now I don't know if they're going to side with who we think. Maybe they could side with X-Men. I'm not too sure, but it looks like they may pick up Steve Rogers. I don't know what characters we're missing in this.
Yeah.
They're going to at the post credit scene is they're all going to break out into song, which is going to segue back into bringing Rogers the musical at DCA.
Oh no!
Rudio said he did the voiceover in the Eternals post credit too.
Oh yeah, Mahershala Ali. Thank you. Right, because of Black Bolt, right, or whatever his name is. Jeez, but man, that would have been fire, man. They slacked off with that.
And I hate that all this MCU knowledge is rotting in my RAM of a brain.
It does that, man. You know what did that with me years back was Walking Dead. It's like all I could think about was like, and then they'd always post pictures online of like, season 5, they're filming here. Season 6, season 7, a character's back. So I know what you mean. And Marvel, it gets you hyped again because there was no hype. Like, they started doing stuff you want. Punisher, Daredevil, they started bringing in stuff you want. But it's been flat for a while, and now everybody's hyped again, which makes me hyped because you just never know what you're going to get. As long as we're getting Spider-Man and Doomsday in the same year. I mean, come on, what can more than keep?
And I was going to say, it did bring the hype back for me from Marvel because it was a slump for quite some time. I mean, I did go to see Thunderbolts. I thought it was okay and what have you. I never missed a Marvel movie, but it like never hit that mark that it used to. And I think this year, it's definitely making a comeback for sure. And then Abby saying, yes, bringing back these characters is a way to dig themselves out of the hole and then bridge for them the next generation / new characters. Amusement Park Pirates, welcome in. Rogers at DCA was so good. Hope it comes back with maybe a Doomsday twist.
I was just going to say that. Like, I mean, everyone knows from watching me on Conductor Sunday live stream and then doing videos with these guys, they know how I feel about the Hyperion. And if they're not ready to, take a wrecking ball to it, I would say that would be like the perfect idea, Amusement Park Pirates, to bring back the Rogers musical and have a Doctor Doom element in that. I think that would be really, really, really cool.
I agree. I want to bring this question up because I think Kevin Feige also mentioned this. Should Disney Plus shows and movies be kept separate? And I think Kevin Feige addressed the notion that moving forward, that the timelines would be much more simpler to follow.
Yes.
And where you have to watch a Disney Plus series to watch this movie, and you have to watch this movie to watch this Disney Plus series. I think they're trying to get away from that.
And plus Marvel Disney Plus shows are a wrap. I mean, we're getting Vision Quest 1 season. We're getting Daredevil season 3. We may get season 4. That may be the only one. We may only be getting animated Marvel Disney Plus shows, such as Neighborhood Friendly Spider-Man season 3 after season 2 drops. And then we'll be getting X-Men 97 season 3 since 2 is just released.
That show is phenomenal.
It's
the X-Men 97. I can't believe of how they literally it segued perfectly,
bro.
Like almost 30 years later with the animation, the voiceover, the storyline. It's just like that was genius. I mean,
that was crazy.
Great.
I agree.
can MCU ever reach the heights and the glory days of Infinity Saga again?
I think when X-Men comes, I think the thing is with Marvel, right? I think it's almost like Walking Dead for me, since I'll bring it back to that. It's the candle burned out and it's flickering down below, right? Then it gets this massive resurgence and it gets this flame high again. Doomsday, boom. Secret Wars, boom. X-Men, boom. Nostalgic stuff. Ghost Rider, okay? It's hard to add in new stories if it's not going to be X-Men. I think we're going to be heavy on mutants, heavy on X-Men stories, stuff that we haven't seen. And if it is a new iteration, it may be a reboot. Even though people are saying in the comments it may not be, I'm still all for reboots at this point because these actors are in their 50s.
Yeah. And you're not wrong. I think it was Kevin Feige or somebody said Doomsday is going to set the precedent of a reset, like George was saying, between the TV series and the movies. That Doomsday is going to kind of fix that problem where it's going to reset after that. So that's a possibility.
And Rudio says the payoff isn't worth it. 8 episodes of a show to 2 shots in a theatrical experience to call back to.
Yeah. So
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, it's some real stuff. I mean, and that's why I like Daredevil so much, because they didn't really do a big reboot on it. They kind of still left the Netflix stuff in there. That's solid for me. That's why maybe just keep that show for the best live action, and then no more live action, and then just all animated for Disney Plus. I mean,
yeah, I think that's what I would do. Yeah, I would keep it like simple, but yet impactful, I guess is the best way that I could say. Like, it would still be worth watching,
right?
But keep like the big, elaborate, for the theatrical.
Man, I'm just gonna do it. My hot take right now for Spider-Man: Brand New Day, I got 2. Daredevil actually helps fight the Hand and gets broken out of jail or prison, and 2, Mr. Negative is shown. Maybe that's the end credit scene for Spider-Man 5, and then maybe the end credit scene. So for Doomsday would be maybe Peter getting the symbiote, and then he sticks his hand through the dirt like that comic book. Maybe that's what they are. That's what I guess a fanboy in me would want. I mean, these movies are hard to call.
Oh, it is, because it could be something completely different that you say, like, I didn't think of that, but why couldn't I think of that?
Right.
My hot take is I think Sadie Sink's character, whoever it is, she's going to be in one of the mid or end credit scene.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's going to set up for D23 for her.
Right. And you know what? I was asked a couple days ago, well, who's the main villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day? And then they straight up said, like, this has the most Spider-Man villains ever. I mean, there's not Hammerhead, but they have everybody else, Tombstone and all. I don't know if there's a main villain. I know Hulk's out and does crazy stuff. I mean, what if it, like, ended up culminating with, like, Mr. Negative? Like, that would be insane. I mean, I know Scorpion's in it too, but who knows?
Well, Rudio says, my prediction for Brand New Day is an Easter egg to the Sinister Six.
I'll take it.
That'd be dope.
Conductor, do you have any hot take predictions? Not even just for Brand New Day, but for any of the Marvel projects coming out.
So, Brand New Day, I don't have anything. For Doomsday,
well, I'm disappointed.
When are you not disappointed with me? When are you not? I'm just kidding. I think for Doomsday, if I had to just throw a wild prediction out there, I honestly want to believe that possibly, because we see Gwyneth Paltrow, I don't know how true that is, but we see her character in a scene that was leaked online, and again, all speculation. We don't know if it's real or not, but she's walking up to a person that's overlooking the lake, and it's supposed to be Doctor Doom himself, or even maybe Tony as a variant, or I don't know, maybe one of the witches. I'm not sure. I think a hot take would be, Gwyneth Paltrow and the daughter fight Doctor Doom. Like they both fight Doctor Doom. That would be really interesting.
I mean, if they use the daughter where she's still like younger and she's like lowered to the ground, she could give him a good kick in the Infinity Stones.
Could try. Now, my thing is, and this was another hot take for Doomsday, because we see Loki, and Loki's supposedly stuck in the timeline, holding all the universes in his hands. I'm wondering, because people were, again, forums, and stuff like that, just speculating, talking rumors. I wonder if there's a variant of Loki where actual Loki
I'm glad you brought Loki up, because you just reminded me of something. I wanted to bring something up to you.
Right.
There's this guy, he does like these like out there like theories, but yet they make sense. And I think he makes them like into shorts and stuff.
Sure.
He does it like in a narration thing. And he was watching the trailer that dropped of Doomsday, not the one from San Diego, but the one that we got when the tickets were released.
Yeah.
And he had mentioned that it shows Loki, and then it shows a hand that's looking at the badge that has Loki's face on it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
The TD8. But here's the thing. A lot of people, when you watch it, you're thinking, okay, Loki is looking at his badge. But when you look at the hand, it has a wedding ring.
So you know who that is?
It's Rogers.
It's Captain America, yeah. Exactly.
So I'm wondering, like, if what his theory was, did Loki then reach out to Rogers to warn him about Doom, that the events that happened in Endgame, it opened that portal of like what is going to be.
Right. And then that's why Steve Rogers shows up for Thor, maybe, like we see in the trailer. Yeah. Because he's already getting recruited, like, hey, Doom's coming for you.
Well, it's quite interesting too. And again, it was leaked online. I don't know how true it is, but in that scene where Thor goes up to Captain America in the ship, they cut out what's behind Captain America, and it was leaked that it was, Robert Downey Jr., like as himself, as Iron Man, but he wasn't in like the Iron Man costume. He was just dressed as Tony Stark. So I'm like, wait a second, is that it? Again, there's no validity behind that, but it makes you wonder. It's like when I was talking about the whole variant thing and how Doom can be a variant of Tony Stark, then you have, I don't know how this works. Like I'm kind of confused. Like George was saying with what Kevin Feige and the Marvel Studios is trying to get away from with all this confusion. You have to watch one movie to understand another movie, and it's like all conflicted and all that. I'm kind of wondering if the variant of Tony Stark is true, because like I said, I go back to Doomsday, or I go back to Endgame when Tony Stark has that interaction with Doctor Strange on the battlefield, and he was asking that question: out of all the different scenarios, do we win in this scenario? And when he uses the word scenario, it makes me think, being that it's the multiverse, could it be possible?
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing about Marvel, is like you could like throw so many different variations, and it's like
ripple effect.
It is, right. and that's the beauty part of it, is because as wild as it sounds, it makes sense in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And Radio says, okay, what I want to know is how George would have reacted if he had camped overnight for Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con for the wristband and they didn't let him in, does Abby have bail money for this? Okay, so Rudio, I think
Oh boy.
if I had camped out the whole entire night expecting to get into this panel and then for what was announced and everything, and I didn't get a wristband,
Right.
I think it's probably going to be the same reaction that if I don't get into the Alan Menken concert at D23, I'm
Right.
literally just going to like drop to the floor and start kicking and screaming and having my little 4-year-old tantrum. I even said to conductor earlier because we got on the subject matter of the Alan Menken concert, I'd be gladly to walk up to someone that's already standing in line, pull out my checkbook and say, hey, it's never too early to start your child's college tuition.
And he would do that.
Yep.
He would do that.
Yep.
So it's not out of the possibility. I want to throw another wild prediction at you. Like, I mean, what's the chances that in the end credit scenes of Doomsday we see Doctor Strange come back, and that leads into Secret Wars?
So we got to know though that there's characters that were announced in the beginning of the promo for Doomsday where they showed the chair lineup.
Yes.
And Benedict Cumberbatch, his name was there. They announced, Peter Parker, Tom Holland. They announced tons of people that aren't being shown. I would assume Doctor Strange shows up in Doomsday. So the thing is, even like what George said, it's going to be hard to touch Secret Wars because we don't know how Doomsday ends. I mean, for all we know, it could end with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and different Spider-Mans. It could end with people that aren't even being shown right now. So just know that stuff's probably coming and you can't really promote it until then. And during the gap between Infinity War and Endgame, they promoted it like really weird. It was like soft with not much footage. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember. They did not show much.
Well, it begs the question, though. Like you said, there's a lot of actors we didn't see at Comic-Con. And if we don't see those same actors at D23, it begs the question, are those actors that's going to be part of Doomsday, are they actually trying to maybe get a head start on Secret Wars? That's why they're not there. Or are they part of other projects?
I mean, that's well said. I mean, conductor, I don't know what they're doing because we have not heard of them starting filming Secret Wars. So I don't know if this is coming out or what, because they got to do all these red carpet events for this. I mean,
oh, sure.
How long do they need to film Secret Wars and how long is post-production? Is it really going to come out next winter? I don't know.
So if it goes based off of the comics, Sanju was saying that Doom wins and creates the battle world in Secret Wars.
And that's some of the leaked script, basically. So I guess we'll see if it plays out. I mean, who knows?
So then Rudio says, no, people got wristbands and were still not let in. Allegedly, people made counterfeit wristbands and cut the line. Oh, no. See, that would not. No. I'd be like, you get me my pink bar of soap, I'm going to go Brad Pitt Fight Club on a.
Oh, man, I know.
Oh my God! If I got a counterfeit wristband and I'm standing there the whole entire, no.
There you go. Crazy.
Let's see. I don't know if George could handle the stress and humidity of all age. Depends as Lorcana lines, but it's over the case of camping.
Okay. Okay. I have to, beg another question because I know George is starting to kind of get into it. I know our good friend Jason Hill is 100,000,000% into it. Lorcana cards, because Tommy, you talked about it actually with the figures that they debuted at Comic-Con in San Diego.
Right.
the Doomsday figures
Yeah.
and action figures. Could they do a Doomsday line for Locarno cards and debut that at D23? Could they do it?
They already announced the cards, I think, for D23, so maybe not. I mean, I would want what you said to happen,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think they already announced it. I mean, I'm not sure George would know. I think, right? I mean,
What was it?
like the Lorcana cards, like they already announced what sets are coming out, right?
I would think, they would have.
Well,
I mean, wouldn't it be cool if they created like a Marvel line?
That's what he was just saying.
Yeah. That would be crazy. That would be
Because
crazy.
actually, I think it was Lego that just dropped news about Lego figures of characters from Doomsday, including Doctor
Yeah.
Doom himself.
Yeah, but yeah, like Lego is like a sure bet. Yeah, I think for Lorcana, I think they already like have their line out for some reason. I mean, they could come up with something on the fly.
I think they could. Like, you imagine a holographic Doctor Doom card or an Iron Man card, dude, that would go fire.
That
Lights
would.
out. Man,
that is crazy.
But that
I don't know what you're referring to, John. Apologies are owed for saying that one, Gelato. I don't know what you're referring to, but honestly, I don't really apologize for anything unless I actually mean it. But again, it's all in good fun of sarcasm. So, I don't know who wins or loses. This is
we don't know. It's all speculation.
This is all speculation. Trust me, if I knew who won or lost, Marvel would be getting on my back.
Yeah, no one really knows. Well, This is all just talk.
This is all talking of like speculation and everything. But going by the comics, that's actually what really happens in the comics. So if we're going to go by the comics, that's what could possibly happen. So
the outer world is what people want.
So again, to your statement, no, I'm not going to apologize for that because we're talking amongst ourselves. So
exactly.
As I always say, I'm going to get the T-shirt. Take it or leave it. Love it or shove it.
Exactly. Well, it's funny though because think about it. Tom Holland, he hasn't done an interview yet because he's like the king of spoilers. Like the kid is like ridiculous. He can't keep a secret with his life. So it begs the question too, because he's done interviews at D23 in the past about.
Okay, so wait, really quick. I'm kind of confused. So I kind of agree with John on that one. John was mentioning about Secret Wars. I'm still confused of like.
Well, we're just
that's not what he meant. I'm confused. As I said, folks, all this what we're talking about is
speculation.
We
no one knows the answer.
Like as I said, if we knew what it was, we'd be rubbing elbows with all the celebrities and would be breaking champagne. So
right. Yeah, this is all hearsay, just like how we do speculation for HHN. I mean, it's all hearsay until the official announcements happen, and we'll all just pump for D23. Realistically, I mean.
Oh yeah, D23, but. There was literally no spoilers we talked about that has 100% validity behind it. And anything we talked about at Comic-Con, it's out there on the internet, it's out there on cable news. So it's not
now these are all speculation on who we think died.
Yeah, as I said, this is like we don't know who is going to win, who is going to lose, who's going to die. We could be completely wrong, we could be right. See, if we knew what the actual answer was and we were leaking the stuff, then that's a completely different thing. But we're having a conversation of what we think is going to go on, and it's for good conversation. So as I said, it is what it is, and if it's something that you may not want to hear about, and that's perfectly fine, to each own prerogative, but this is the conversation that we're having. So
now, again, I think it's fun to speculate though, because it gets your mind thinking about it. Like from what we've seen so far in actual movies that is actually in the public and not leaked. compared to now.
Right.
I kind of like that. And again, a lot of what we kind of talked about, and Tommy, please correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of it, again, spoilers, rumor, or not spoilers, but rumors, speculation, some of it tying back to the comic books as well. That has been around since the
Exactly.
70s and 80s.
Well said. Yeah, it's all based on speculation of what's in the comics. You know.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you're
Ooh, there we go. There's our boy right there. Right there. Love it.
Christian everywhere.
He is everywhere.
So, Christian, yeah, we were talking about like our own like thoughts and speculation of just like everything that's been announced at San Diego Comic-Con with Black Panther 3, with Doomsday, Brand New Day,
Ghost
Rider, our own thoughts of like what could we expect in Doomsday leading into Secret Wars and all that. So I mean, throw it in there, man. if you have any thoughts on it, throw it in there.
Definitely. Well, I'm trying to think. You guys don't think that because we kind of talked about it with Infinity Defense being that it's going to be King Thanos. There's a slim possibility they might have a Doctor Doom element in that. Do you think they might build a Doctor Doom attraction in Avengers Campus in the future, though? Like, I mean, there are areas they could utilize to expand.
Well, I think like of what we were talking about earlier, like with Infinity Defense, like you guys were mentioning about King Thanos and everything.
Sure.
I think the way that this ride will be able to kind of change up in a bit is sort of like what they did with The Mandalorian and how they were able to change out to put Mando and Grogu in it. I think, honestly, they can utilize Infinity Defense and change out maybe some of the characters or the storyline, but still keep the ride fresh and new, and they can just keep swapping things out. Now, of course, I can't foresee them doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have to give people enough time and chance to experience the ride. So I think maybe they could do things like limited time or, wait a while and then swap it out, So
No, 100%.
I think, man, just going off the movies, just sparked kind of in my memory, bro, like Thanos was set up for like 10, 20 films. I mean, he was in the post-credit scene for like Guardians, like it was a long, rigorous setup for Thanos to come ruin, the MCU. The hard thing with Doom is it has to be 2 years because Doctor Doom for Doomsday, and then they can't stretch out Avengers Secret Wars too far out because then they can't have anything play off in the middle because everybody is still stuck in the, whatever happened at the end of Doomsday. So for me, it's like, why even put a permanent attraction of Doom or even put him in Infinity Defense? Why even do it? He's only going to be in 2 films, and that's only within 2 years of a time span. I mean, he's going to come and go. You know what I mean?
But see, my question is, if he's going to be in both films, which he is, could he make appearances in other Marvel franchises? Like, could he appear in another Doctor Strange movie? Could he appear in maybe Iron Man 4? Could he appear in, let's say, I don't know, a Spider-Man movie? We don't know. Like, he wouldn't have a big footprint, obviously. It would be very small, like a cameo. But it's still possible that character would show up in other Marvel films, because I don't think they would literally sit there and bring Doctor Doom for 2 Avengers movies and then put him away in the vault, and that's the last you see of him. I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to show up throughout different Marvel movies. His presence, though, will probably be very minor, but he might show up in it. That's what I think. I think they have way too much invested to sit there and have him for 2 movies and then that's it. That's just my thought process.
Well, especially if they want to use RDJ as much as they possibly can while he's still in good health, very youthful and what have you. So who knows? They may bring him back for a third character. Yeah, it's like you never know.
Because I'll tell you this, the movies that RDJ has done that hasn't been Avengers related, and he's done 2 movies with Christopher Nolan, and all the actors that work with Christopher Nolan know how brutal he can be, like with his storyline, because he wants 100% efficiency. There's always a possibility of something happening. So I mean, and it seems like it almost seems like when Christopher Nolan is on the phone with one of these actors about a future project, it's almost a guaranteed yes. So if RDJ gets asked to do a Christopher Nolan film, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Kevin Feige has to take advantage of that when he can.
Absolutely. Completely agree. Well, I think we're going to be wrapping it up here, folks. Do you guys have any more final thoughts on everything we talked about? I think we covered a lot.
I think we did.
I think we covered a lot too. Let's get Hugh Jackman in Doomsday too. Let's put Wolverine in there.
There you go.
Now I agree. Dude, again, just like RDJ, utilize him while he's still Because
I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to be honest with you. His banter with Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool and Wolverine was like one of the most iconic times of my life. Just to kick back, have a cold drink, and just watch those two just go at it with each other. Because I kind of always thought, Deadpool, then you have Wolverine. I'm like, you two need to just go in the room and beat each other up, and that's exactly what they did. So
that's what they do.
Absolutely. So, again, thank you guys for joining me on this very lengthy live talking about all things Marvel. Definitely have to do it again. Obviously, we're going to be seeing Brand New Day this coming week, and then Doomsday down the road. So I'm for sure we're going to be, and then even D23. So we don't even know what's going to even be announced. So we have a lot to discuss in the coming weeks. But Tommy, I'm going to start with you. Thank you so much for coming on. And if you want to let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, thank you for having me back on, man. And the Conductor, it's always good chatting with you. Fun times, man. Fun times. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. San Diego Comic-Con, they killed it. But hey, you can find me at TommyToon_world on YouTube. I'm dropping some new food reviews coming up, a couple steakhouse ones from Vegas. Lock in for that. D23 is coming up. We're in. It's going down. And then also for that more day-to-day, TikTok and Instagram at TommyToon_.
Interesting.
And Theme Park Conductor, it's all you, man. Take the stage.
Sure, why not? I love taking the stage. I want to give a big shout out to Hollow Gelato as he creeps closer and closer to that 80,000 subscriber count on YouTube. So congratulations on that. I know he just wrapped up a project that he can't talk about. I don't even know about it, but he's going to be debuting that pretty soon. I'm super excited to see that. Tommy Toon World, always great to collab with him on videos or live streams. And if many of you people don't know, he was just in Las Vegas and he got to do that Resident Evil Horrors Unleashed experience, which looked incredible. And like I said, we all call him the young Steven Spielberg of food reviews because this guy is amazing with his food reviews. I love watching them like in person. It's crazy. But again, I'm Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like the only Mr. Hollow Gelato himself with his spicy Italian theme park opinions, Tommy Toon World with his world famous Steven Spielberg food reviews, and so much more as we break down Disney and Universal news. We speculate, we talk rumors. We also have been diving into D23 pretty heavily because we're only less than 3 weeks away. Then HHN and so much more. And if many of you don't know, I just did a video with Zach from Boardwalk Times today that just premiered tonight, and that was pretty phenomenal to talk to him, and I can't wait to run into him at D23.
Yeah, man, Christian's out here hooking it up. It looks like Midsummer might be a thing coming up too. So, you know, if you guys like horror, I know this is a Marvel one, but hey, we got Midsummer. That's the biggest horror convention of the year, setting up HHN. So, geez, shout out Christian for that one. I mean, if we get that media pass and we're locked in, we're going to be rolling around that puppy. I'm juiced.
Hey, Christian, just a little FYI, if you're watching, I told Tommy he needs to do it.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's you got to strike while the iron's hot. Any opportunity.
100%.
You got to do it. Definitely. So yeah, definitely everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Again, love all the interaction, and please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on all of our social media platforms, because again, over the next couple weeks, it is going to be stacked, as Tommy was mentioning, with Midsummer, and then we're going to have D23. We have Oogie Boogie. We have HHN. We have Not Scary Farm coming up. We got like a bunch of stuff coming out. The list just keeps going on and on. So definitely look out for all our content. And then Christian says that let's go 100%. And to end this live, I'm going to bring up Rudio's thing again. We're going to end this with the question: why was Thor crying?
Mm.
That was interesting.
We got to see it.
We got to see it, and well, you know that's going to be the new meme.
Right.
You know that's definitely going to be the new meme where it's like, why is he crying? Oh, like someone like stole his cookies or something. Like it'll just be, you know. And yeah, Amusement Park Pirates going to be amazing rest of 2026.
Leading
absolutely. So yeah, so we're going to end it there, folks. I'm George, the Disney Italiano. And as I always say, in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. Italiano